Alright, so for my fourth video reaction, we watched a video called Missing the Obvious and Employee Recognition. It was a pretty informative video, pretty cool. The speaker does a good job talking about her experiences in it and what the differences between square and round wheels are. And so she starts off pretty quickly about what square wheels are, and sorry. Square wheels are more things that pull people's attention away and create problems in the workplace. And round wheels are things that bring people's focus back to work. And she shows an example of square wheels about how these people are like pushing like a cart or something like that, and it has square wheels on it. And obviously, that would be harder than pushing something that has round wheels. And so that kind of follows up with the example I just said about how the square wheels pull people's attention away and create problems. Well, this is a problem. The square wheels wouldn't be able to move as easily as round wheels, like I said. And so she goes into how more than 2/3 of employees do not actually feel engaged at the workplace, and one of the top 3 reasons causing this is employee recognition. Employee recognition is an important thing and something that a lot of places are clearly not utilizing properly. And she uses an example of the holiday turkey for the square wheels. And the holiday turkey, it's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, let's get all the employees a turkey. And how then the next year people expect it, and then the year after that people start complaining or different things of that nature, and it starts to cause more of a problem than actually be a good service. And she said there's nothing really wrong with doing that. It's a nice thing to do, but if that's all you're doing for employee recognition, that's simply just not enough. So she gets into feedback a lot and how it's important and how to use it and different things of that nature. So she said, so like, why don't we use reinforcing feedback more? And reinforcing feedback's like, hey, I saw you do this action for the new employee. This was her example. I really liked that. I'm glad you did that. It's good to see you doing that. And so more specifically, reinforcing feedback, it just reinforces things that are positive and important to your team or your employees or whoever you're working with. It's a good thing to do. And she suggests that people should actually sought after more feedback and find out what people don't like or do like about what they're doing. And one tough thing to feedback is it's not always going to be what you want. It's that constructive feedback. People might point out negative things you're doing, and people might point out positive things. And I think it's those positive things that need to be focused on, but you still need to listen to the constructive feedback, because then you can improve on what you're doing, and it's always good to improve. If you're not looking to improve in what you're doing, then you're probably wasting your time. I mean, then I think you see that lack of engagement. If you're not trying to improve every single day on something you're doing, then you're probably not going to be as successful as you could be. For what I do at my work is every day when I'm doing what I'm doing. So, for example, I've said this before, I cut grass. So when I'm mowing, I find something about like the stripe that I laid with the mower, if it's crooked, if it's angled wrong, if it's not as wide as it should be. There's a lot of different aspects. I try and pick one of those specific aspects each day I go to work and work on that. Then the next day I pick another one while keeping what I did the day before and work on that. And then I combine, and then I combine, and then I combine, and I keep picking new aspects until it's exactly what I want. And then I find another thing. I go back to what I've already done, and that's how I improve on what I do at my job personally. So, back on feedback. When giving feedback, comment specifically. Find positives that are happening. Find things that are small that people are doing. Sometimes say it's your least favorite employee. They're doing something you don't like. Well, find something positive, comment on that, and oftentimes, in my experience, it will motivate that person to work harder overall, just because they heard that positive comment. And keep commenting when you see these positive things. Positive comments reinforce positive outcomes. I always say that if you look at something negatively or go into it with a negative outlook, negative outcome, but positive outlook, positive outcome. That's not always going to be true, but a lot of times you're going to be able to find the best out of a situation if you go into it with a positive outlook. And she suggested ask for feedback, find out what you're doing, find out what's good and bad about it, and improve on it. And that's something that I had to do a lot this summer at work. I got a promotion. I wasn't as good as the person I was replacing in this promotion. I knew that, but every week I would ask, well, what improvements did you see? What did you like? What did you not like? What do I still need to do to keep getting better at my job? And that was something that really helped me increase in my productivity and results very quickly. So when you're a boss, look for opportunities to celebrate success. If someone did something you like, then tell them. Make sure the whole group knows. Make sure people see you reacting positively to good behaviors at work, and it'll motivate people and engage people into their job and try and get them to look for that. People like to be recognized for what they've done. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just human nature, and I think the more we do that, the more engaged people become and the better outcomes we're going to have from that. So another thing to do is to just pay attention to the things you value. Make sure they're still happening at the workplace, whether that's with you specifically or your whole company. Just find the positive things, make sure they're still happening, and if you see one of them not happening, make a change, make something happen that's going to change that. Excuse me. So, one second. Okay, sorry. So, how round wheels and square wheels might affect me at college or my current job. Honestly, I get frustrated at my work. I think there's a lot of things that aren't done properly, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So what I've done in the past is I've approached my boss and said, I see this, and I feel like if we do this, it would improve on what's happening. And my boss listens to me well. Not all bosses are going to listen super well, but if you form a good relationship, this is something that can happen. So my job search, how might the video affect my job search or my job as a manager? I think it's as a manager, I think it's something to really look out for. Make sure that you're being positive to your employees and showing them that what they're doing is being appreciated and that you appreciate what's happening. And if you don't, I think you're going to have less satisfaction at work. But I think the more positive you are to your employees, the better. Obviously, that's going to be hard. Sometimes people are going to frustrate you. People are going to make you mad. But I think if you do your best to be as positive as you can, I think you'll have the most success. When it comes to job search, when you go there, talk to employees, talk to people, go on Glassdoor, go on sites, find what people say about the manager, find what people say about the company. Is it a positive environment? Is it a negative environment? I think that's something to really look for, because if you go to a negative environment, it's hard for one person to make it a positive environment. And especially since a lot of us probably aren't going to be in a high up position right away. We're going to have to start from the bottom and get that experience, build it up, and get into the higher positions where it might be easier to make change happen. So go somewhere where you think there's a positive environment to start off. Thanks.